What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here on Madden 25 here for another rebuild. We're almost done with all 32 teams. I think we only have like 8 left to do as we're getting into some of the good teams that really don't need much help. But today we have the Houston Texans. The one thing I will say about the Houston Texans, though, I don't feel like they looked as good as they have this season compared to last year. Stroud looks a little off to me. Even watching that Cowboys game last night, some of the throws felt a little off. Not doubting them by any means, but let's just go ahead, just had to say that, and let's jump in and rebuild the Texans in Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. So, as I mentioned, when it comes to the Texans, they came into this season as everyone's darling child, right? They won a great run last year after being a poverty franchise for a few years there. They had Watson, and then everyone knows what happened with Watson. They had Hopkins and Watson together at one point. They were up like big on the Chiefs in that playoff game, and they just blew it. And then ever since then, they've been pretty bad. They traded D-Hop for David Johnson, like a 4th-round pick or something. They've been bad, cycling through head coaches. Then they get CJ Stroud, and they had an incredible year last year, get to the second round, lose to Baltimore. Of course, they come to the offseason. They grab Danielle Hunter, and then, Danielle Hunter. I get Jonathan Grenard and Danielle Hunter confused, but of course they switched teams in free agency. But they get Danielle Hunter free agency, get Stephon Diggs traded to there as well. So everyone thought this Texans team was about to go, be dominant this year and look like a contender. And to me, they have not looked like that up to this point. Not doubting them still. I still think they could definitely go on that type of run in the playoffs. But Stroud has just looked a touch off to me. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and summon to the end of year number 1. Of course, this team is pretty good as of right now. There's still a lot to like on this team. Let's just see how we finish out. And of course, we'll be in the playoffs at 7-4. I imagine we win our division and are in there. But let's see how we do once we get into the playoffs. So we only finished the season at 9-8. Thankfully, we still made the playoffs, but yeah, not great. 7-4 to 9-8. So we only won 2 more games for the rest of the season. It doesn't feel good. So let's take a look at the player stats and kind of see what's going on. So offensively, we're 13th in the NFL, which is nice. And then defensively, still we're ranked pretty high on that side of the ball as well. Yeah, 8th overall, because the Texans have a good defense. So 19-12 from Stroud. To me, this is disappointing. I'd like to see better numbers from him. Joe Mixon, of course, has been incredible. Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Nico Collins missed some time. That definitely hasn't helped CJ Stroud. Schultz 630, and then Diggs, of course, we know, tore his ACL. And is out for the season. So you have 9 sacks from 9.5 from Will Anderson, 9 from Danielle Hunter, 4 from Tim Settle, and then here are your interceptions: 4 from Kalen Bullock, 3 from Jalen Petrie, and 3 from Kamari Lassiter. So the one thing I think we can do really quickly is, I know we can't put Diggs in, but I'm assuming Will Anderson, I didn't see him, but I don't think he's out for the season or anything like that. So we can go ahead and put him in, or he already is in, so we're good there. So let's just go ahead and jump into this playoff game, going up against Los Angeles Chargers, and let's see how we do. So welcoming in Justin Herbert and John Harbaugh to see if we can come out here and beat, Jim Harbaugh, so we can come out here and beat the Chargers. We do tie it up after they went up 7-0, but they were driving our defense pretty easily. We get an interception. That was a massive interception, actually, and we will tie it now. So it's 14-21. This is a back and forth game thus far. This would be an entertaining playoff game. So you get a minute 55. Cameron Dicker misses a 23-yard field goal, which is a little bizarre. We get a minute 55. I'm not going to jump in and play this since this is only year 1. Do we go down and tie this up? Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. And no, we threw an interception immediately. But now we get 30 seconds to try to... no, just kidding. This game's over. What am I talking about? So, yeah, not great. Not good at all. A lot we needed to go look at this offseason and look at ourselves in the mirror, because I think losing in round 1 would definitely be a disappointment if you're Houston. But let's get to the offseason and try to fix what we can to help this team going forward. So we head into this offseason with about $75 million in cap space. And of course, as usual, we're going to start with the re-signing stage. So Diggs, I think, is a free agent, which is interesting. So I think you do bring him back. I'm obviously going to accept Derek Stingley's 5th-year option. That's a no-brainer. Jeffrey Okudah, who got burnt, I believe, last night against the Cowboys. It was... what's his name? I can't even think of that wide receiver's name. Kevontae Turpin, dusted him. So Diggs is older, so I'm going to give him a 2-year contract. So Diggs is going to... No, he's going to test free agency. Diggs' franchise tag at $33 million seems a little too crazy. It wouldn't totally surprise me if the Texans didn't keep Diggs either. Jimmy Ward, who's been, obviously a player who's played with D'Amico or came from San Francisco to Houston, is familiar with D'Amico Ryans. We can keep him around. And then I think that's all it. So we'll take a look at the idea of bringing Diggs back in free agency. If we get outbidded for him, to me, it's not that big of a deal. It wouldn't shock me at all if Diggs didn't stay at Houston Texans, especially after, obviously getting injured. But if we can bring him back, I absolutely will. Let's take a look at the rest of our lineup, though, and kind of see what everything's looking at. Fully healthy roster. So, Dalton Schultz, you got Shaq Mason, Titus Howard, Juice Scruggs. We do need a starting center. Laramie Tunsil. You have Tank Dell, Nico Collins, John Mechie, and Xavier Hutchinson, Joe Mixon, Damian Pierce. That all looks good. Schultz is their tight end, looks fine too. Defensively, you have Azeez Al-Share, you have Henry Toto, Harris, Jimmy Ward, Bullock behind him. Lassiter's a superstar now. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter. So yeah, there's a lot to like here. Jalen Petrie is a superstar. So a lot to like about this defense. Another D tackle is definitely necessary, and a couple if needed. So to me, Diggs doesn't become as necessary, but if we can bring him back, I definitely will still try. I think getting a third corner makes sense. Maybe another linebacker, a D tackle, maybe a strong safety, a center. So let's go take a look on how we could spend in free agency to address some of those positions. So I was in on Stephon Diggs, but it looks like he's going to go home to the DMV where he's from. Washington Commanders are in on him. And I actually definitely think that could make some sense because, Washington needs another wide receiver. Diggs, obviously has a little bit of character issues just with, maybe putting on the sideline a little bit. But we're going to go for Tershawn Ward. We're going for Isaiah Rodgers. And I do want Ryan Kelly as well. So I am going to offer just a little bit more. Obviously, he's the center to usually get here in free agency when we need a center. But we may not land him. Isaiah Rodgers, if I don't get him, no big deal. Tershawn Wharton might be the only guy we get. We do get Tershawn. So we get Tershawn Wharton and Isaiah Rodgers, get ourselves a third corner. So Diggs, of course, does not stick with Houston, unfortunately. Center position, David Andrews, I guess, gives us just a starter for now, but definitely somebody we should definitely still look into getting an upgrade there. So just kidding. We're not going to get David Andrews. He's going to get an offer from New England. It's pretty rich. So we might have to look for a center in the draft, which is fine. Davenport was here. We got our D tackle help, which is nice. Wouldn't be bad to go after another one. But right end, we have our, obviously have Danielle Hunter. Baron Browning was still here. So Bobby Wagner, Singleton, Jack Gibbons, Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts. Nothing I'm looking at. So the other thing that we might be interested in, Justin Simmons is here, which was is interesting. And then you have Julian Blackmon, who I actually don't mind, but he's not much better than, of course. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to do anything else in free agency. Funny enough, let's look at the wide receiver market really quickly. So bringing D-Hop would have been interesting, bringing him back anyway. We have Mecole Hardman, Tutu Atwell is available. So we could sign a third wide receiver just so we don't have to deal with it. Rondell Moore is someone I've gotten in free agency and had a lot of success when I usually sign him. Has a hard time staying healthy, but I think getting him, did we even land him? Yes, we did. It just didn't show we did. Okay, so we get Rondell Moore. So not a crazy free agency by any means, but let's go ahead and see what we can do in the draft to continue to address our positional needs. So the biggest need on this team right now, funny enough, is a center. So that's probably what we'll look at for the most part. I don't know if we can get like a center in round one. We'll take a look at all options once we get in the draft. Other than a center, a strong safety kind of comes to mind as well. Let's take a look at what we got going on heading into the draft. So we'll be picking at number 21 in the first round of this 2025 draft. So let's see who ends up being available. So a tight end goes right before we're about to pick, which we wouldn't have taken a tight end anyway. So you have Cam Ward, Carson. We're obviously not taking a quarterback. We got Malachi Starks out of Georgia, Michael Williams. We got another wide receiver, obviously Ohio State, Ubuka. I don't know how to say his name exactly correctly. Sicario Davis. I mean, we could take another corner, but not our biggest need right now. Tyleik Williams, Davidson. That's another cornerback. Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. We could take a D tackle as well. I mean, obviously our D tackle, second D tackle is a 72 overall. So not really seeing a position of need as far as getting a strong safety or center at the top of the draft. So maybe we do take a D tackle because that's the next position that we could use. Again, we could take one of the good corners like Sicario Davis. I know turns into a stud. So do we just take like Sicario Davis or do we take one of the D tackles? Like I said, I think I will take D tackle. Tyleik Williams here will be our first round pick to get, help us in the trenches. So number 40 true value, drafted at number 21. So I'm feeling okay about that selection. Now we go to round 2 and kind of see what is available to us here in round 2. So round 2, maybe we can get one of those positions struck here, center or strong safety. So corner, Jalen Walker, another safety on the board still. We got left tackle. Cornerback, what else we got? D tackle we already took, obviously. Center, not really here at all. Okay, so we do have a center down the board in Parker Brailsford out of Alabama. Could be this. I think we need a center, so I'm gonna go ahead and take Parker out of Alabama, number 105 true value. Maybe I reached a little bit, but at least he's hidden dev. It gives us our center of the future. We needed that pretty badly, so happy to have Parker Brailsford. Hopefully he's a good enough overall to start immediately. And with our last pick in round 3, let's see. So we have another middle linebacker, another D tackle, Drew Aller, Karen Lacey, Swenson, Sony Styles, who's a fit in our defense. I don't mind taking another linebacker, honestly. So sure, he's got good coverage skills. So let's take Sony Styles here. Ooh, terrible pick. Damn. All right. Well, you know what? This draft, honestly, this offseason in general wasn't anything spectacular. So maybe a little bit of a failure this offseason, but hopefully we can bounce back. I don't know if we need to make a playbook change because I feel like Houston, is a good enough team that we should be all right. But based off the simulation we saw last year, maybe it would be necessary to do so. So the lineup going into year 2 is looking like this: CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Schultz, Howard, Shaq Mason, Brailsford at the center position, Drew Scruggs, and Laramie Tunsil. So to me, everything on offense looks pretty great. Defensively, we got Williams, who's going to be starting right away, which is nice. Obviously, got Tershawn Warren in free agency. Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter. Styles is a... Dude, that was such a terrible pick. That's so my fault. I'm sorry. Jalen Petrie, Jimmy Ward, Lassiter, Derek Stingley, Isaiah Rogers. So maybe we could have drafted another corner in the draft. But overall, I feel okay about this team. I feel like we should at least be a playoff team. And to avoid struggling at all, I did go ahead and change the playbook to Philadelphia because I just want to make the playoffs with this team. I don't really want to see this team struggle. And maybe I could have kept it to Houston's playbook and we would have made it just fine. But I'm hoping with changing it to Philly that there will be no struggles at all. And this Houston team will be back where they should be as a playoff team, potentially even a contender in this AFC conference. So at the end of the season, we do make the playoffs at 10-7. So I'm glad to at least see us making the playoffs. We won our division once again. But improvement from last year at 9-8, of course. Offensively, we're 10th in the NFL, which is nice. And then defensively, assuming we were probably still decent on that side of the ball. Yeah, so it looks like we were 10th on both sides of the ball. 25-13 from Stroud. Mixon 11 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. You had Tank Dell and Nico Collins. Still not 1,000 yards for either one, which sucks a little bit, but all good. Sacks wise, you had 9 from Daniil Hunter, 7.5 from Tershawn Ward, our free agency addition, 4.5 from Will Anderson. You had 6 interceptions from Stingley, 4 from Azeez Al-Shaair, 3 from Rogers, and then 2 from Christian Harris. All right. We get the Raiders in round 1, so let's go see if we can come out here and win our very first playoff game of the video, as we should beat the Raiders. I don't know who they drafted, but I'm assuming they have a different quarterback. They have their punter as one of their top players. Let's not lose this, please. So it looks like the Raiders drafted Cam Ward, I think, if I saw that correctly. So this is going to be an interesting matchup, but we go up 7-0. The Raiders respond with a field goal, and now they respond with another one, and we will score on this drive. So it's 14-6 thus far. They keep getting 4 field goals for the Raiders so far. We got to take advantage of this, and we're going to go up 12-21. We get an interception or a stop or something. And it looks like there's 3 seconds left. That's all she wrote. So we beat the Raiders, and we're moving on to divisional weekend, which is obviously what we wanted to see. We want to be a team that wins playoff games, not fall short of our goal. So now we head to divisional, and it's only going to get tougher from here. But I'm glad that we at least beat the Raiders by a nice little margin of 8. They kept just getting held to field goals. So we'll see how we do in the next round. And now for an ultimate test right in front of us. CJ Stroud heads to Kansas City to see if he can take down the Chiefs in the playoffs. This will not be easy, as we all know. So I'm a little nervous for this one. We start with the football. I think we got to score on our first drive to set the tone. Will we do that? No. So we get a stop on defense, though. We'll go up 3-0. I don't think field goals... I was going to say I don't think field goals wins you this game. But so far, defense is playing great against the Chiefs. But I was about to say, how long is that going to last? 35 seconds left. We need to touchdown before half. I want to see if I can tie this game and give ourselves a chance here. So, we got Nico in press coverage, it looks like, over there. So if he is going to be one-on-one, we're going to take that. I can't even get the ball off. I'm assuming that was Chris Jones that just got right down the middle because I had no time to throw that ball at all. I was waiting for Nico to break a little bit, and I didn't even get that chance. Okay. Well, we need a first down if possible. So let's see if we can get... we're just going to take the middle with Dalton Schultz, and he will get the first down and out of bounds. That's great. Now we have 3 timeouts still to work with in our back pocket. All right, so let's see. Nico is going to be on the outside again. Rondell Moore. I'm going Nico go route again. I just trust that I can throw it to him, and we're going to take that, and he's going to drop it. That was going to be a tough catch. I was kind of hoping to do back shoulder there, and I think it was executed well, other than obviously, you know, he got hit pretty hard, so he couldn't hang on to the football, which sucks. All right. Let's go wide receiver corner. Let's see if we can get something going on here. So looking for Tank Dell in the corner if possible. If the route is going to, it's not there. I'm going to go to Nico. And man, he just, these are tough throws I'm giving him, man. He's going to get smoked with the way I keep throwing these footballs. But I thought he could come down with it. We need a first down if possible. Let's see if we can get a first down. 3rd and 10, 16 seconds left. Let's see. We got Schultz, I think, for that's ball of sale. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that was not a great drive by your boy here. So let's go back to hopefully they don't score before half, and it's going to be 17-3. So we got to go put up some points, and we don't. It's going to be 24-3. So I think with not scoring on that drive, we really set ourselves for failure. We're not quite ready yet. We get to divisional weekend, but we got a lot more work still to do. And of course, I'll take some blame there. Not good gameplay on that drive at all by myself. So to me, this becomes the most important offseason of all time for the Houston Texans because we're getting closer and closer to CJ Stroud's extension. So we got to take advantage while he's on that rookie contract. So of course, we're going to accept the 5th-year option on him. We'll do the same thing with Will Anderson. So those guys are about to get paid. We got to bring back Jalen Petrie. Got to bring back Danielle Hunter. Damian Pierce, I'm not as concerned about. But yeah, there's quite a few guys we do need to re-sign here. So obviously, first and foremost, Jalen Petrie becomes the most important free agent, in my opinion, to bring back. So hopefully we can bring him back. I mean, he's franchise taggable if he doesn't stay. So yeah, he's going to stick around. Same thing with Danielle Hunter. I think keeping him around makes a ton of sense as well. Keep his pass rush as good as possible. So Hunter's back. Pierce, I'm fine with letting go. Christian Harris, I think, is a solid starter. So if we can bring him back, that'd be great. He wants to play for a new team, though. Can't franchise tag him. Tim Settle, John Mechie, Kenyon Green, Tommy Townsend. We can re-sign our punter. Why not? So let's go ahead and get our punter back, and he will stick around. Okay, so Damian Pierce as a backup, I guess, is fine. We can sign him. So we go into this offseason with that $39 million in cap space. Christian Harris is deciding to leave us, but there is the possibility of obviously maybe freeing up more money. I don't know if there's anybody on this team making like a ton of money that we could cut. So Larry Tunsil, of course, but he is our starting left tackle. Titus Howard probably can be cut because obviously, I mean, he's 80 overall and we free up 17 million by cutting him. So we do that and we can just draft a tackle. Nico, not going to cut. Shaq Mason, we're probably going to rebuild this offensive line. So we're going to cut Shaq Mason as well. Do a total rehaul of this offensive line. Laramie Tunsil being a 94 overall keeps him around. Mixon is our starting running back as Ezel shares our starting linebacker. So everyone else can stick around. All right, so now let's get into free agency with a very, very important free agency here. So that gives about $66.5 million in cap space to work with. One thing we know we don't need is any weapons on offense. It's all offensive line. So it's all the weapons on offense to me are good enough that we like where we're at there. Nico, Tank Dell, Rondell Moore. Our center ended up being pretty good. So it's the right side of the offensive line, and Schultz is up to superstar as well. So the right side of the offensive line is the biggest need, of course, this offseason for the offense. And defensively, we need another linebacker. Looks like Williams, Will Anderson, Lassiter, Derek Stingley, Isaiah Rodgers all worked out. So we do need a strong safety and maybe some linebacker help as well. So yeah, definitely it's going to be strong safety at the top of the wish list. It's going to be a linebacker, and it's going to be a right side of the offensive line. So let's see if we can get that in free agency. We've made 3 offers in free agency, one on Zach Martin, one on Odafe, and one on Braden Smith. So I don't even know if Zach Martin and Braden Smith will accept these offers. I probably have to come in a little bit more, but this would give us a really good offensive line if we're able to land both these guys. So we're going to offer both of them 2 contracts. Odafe we may not get, but let's see if we get all 3, and we are going to get all 3 to sign. So that feels good. We get exactly what we needed. The one position we obviously don't have still is a strong safety, which is definitely something we'll have to look into in the draft. Just a safety in general will be the top of the wish list. So that gives us a revamped offensive line, a couple veterans coming over to protect CJ Stroud, Zach Martin, Braden Smith. I mean, that's a damn good offense if you ask me. So there's no reason for this team to struggle whatsoever. Defensively, the offense to struggle. But we bring in Odafe. We have a strong safety position still needed. I mean, Caden Bullock obviously can move over, Jalen Petrie, but I do still think, getting a strong safety in the draft is the #1 priority. So yeah, I'm feeling good about how that offseason just went. Getting a really good haul in free agency. Braden Smith, Adolph Wade, and Zach Martin. Really can't complain there. We have a damn good offensive line to protect Stroud. He should have all the time in the world to throw the ball, and we should be able to run the ball like crazy. And then once we get into this draft and draft our safety, then it's up from here. So let's see if we can get our safety in this draft. So we'll be picking, this will be interesting. We're picking at number 25. So let's see if anything we want falls to us. I'm hoping no safeties go off the board, and it looks like not a single safety has gone off the board. So that spells out good things for us, hopefully. So let's see what we got going on here. So Shymi Brown out of Florida State is, to me, a perfect fit, and we got to take him. I mean, this is no brainer. I don't even have to look at anybody else. This is going to be the safety we get, and exactly what we needed. So he's only normal dev, which sucks, but I still think it was the correct pick regardless of how you slice it. So welcome to Houston. Very happy to have his services. And then honestly, in round 2, we can kind of just go with whatever we want here, whatever is available to us. So we got a free safety. We could take another safety just for insurance. That's not a bad idea. We could take a quarterback, which I won't do. There's a lot of safety options in this draft, or we can take another corner as well. But I guess with all the safety options in the world, we can take another one. So Dylan Thieneman, I don't know how to say the last name, but didn't want to look at you again, my friend. I want to look at the other one. So Khalil Barnes out of Clemson. He looks okay. C man coverage, B block, shedding, B tackle, physical ball, our physical player who delivers bone crushing hits. Okay, physicals, 4.5, 40-yard dash. All right, interesting. What else? I'm gonna look at McNeil Warren real quick as well. 4.58. I'm gonna go and take Emmanuel McNeil Warren here. So welcome to the Texans. Hin dev free safety. So I'm feeling all right about that. So we take 2 safeties in this draft to to work on the secondary. Let my assistant GM draft the rest, and we're just gonna get straight into year 3 with the hopes that we're back in the playoffs, but maybe this time a really good team over 10-7. Let's get like 12 to 13 wins if possible. So at the end of this season, we finish up only at 10-7 once again, but we do find ourselves in the playoffs as one of the bottom seeds here. We get the fellow division rival, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So let's see. Offensively, 7th in the NFL, and then defensively, hoping for like a top 15, top 10 again. 20th in the NFL. So defense fell off a little bit, but Stroud 28-12. Mixon 930 yards. Tank Dell and Nico Collins, both 1,000-yard wide receivers this year, which is fantastic. Sacks wise, you had 9 from Deshaun Ward and 7 from Tyreek Williams, 6 from Danielle Hunter, and then 4.5 from Will Anderson. You had 5 receptions from Stingley, 2 from Rodgers, 1 from Henry, 1 from Lasser, and 1 from Jalen Petrie. So let's go ahead and jump into this playoff game, going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and hope that we can go on a deep playoff run all the way to at least the AFC Championship in this final season. So Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars had a really good regular season, but hopefully we can kind of end their season here. So far, no scores on the board, and I'm just a little surprised that we have not put any points yet. So no points in the first half is kind of wild. I'm not going to lie. So let me come out here and put some freaking points on the board, because this is ridiculous, bro. What are we doing, man? Let's go score the freaking football. There's no reason for this team not to have a touchdown on this board already. I hate that I hate that we haven't freaking scored yet. That's just ridiculous, bro. So it's third quarter, start of the second half, and let's see if we can get a good drive going here. So I'm going to start it off with Mixon, and honestly, I could have hit either. I started in 6. I just realized this was second down already. All right, so we need a first down, which we can get. Don't worry. All right, so first down is coming your way. Actually... So let's see if we can get a first down with... Wow, this is going to be an interesting route that Rondell Moore's running. But actually, I'm going to get sacked instead. So not great once again. Why do I keep jumping? I'm not playing great today, man. So let's see if we can... All right, so I'm not going to play this time. That was a waste. 3-0. I was about to say, does 3-0 win the game? 10-7. Now we're starting to score. Now we have the ball in good field position. We won the game 10-7. And once again, I did not help by jumping in. But next time I jump in, man, we're going to lock in, bro. Because I'm just playing terribly so far. But hey, we win. That's what matters. Now we're off to divisional weekend. So divisional weekend, here we come. And of course, like last year, we draw the Kansas City Chiefs. We scored 10 points in the last game to move on to this point. Don't think we can do that in this one. Expect to win. So let's see if we come out here and set the tone, and they will score on their first drive. Hopefully we can respond with their own touchdown. We do 7-7, and they are going to keep scoring. We got to keep scoring. It's a minute 28 left on the clock. 2 timeouts. Let's go score the football and set the tone for the rest of this game. As I promised you guys, when I jump in, I'm going to make something happen this time. So let's actually make a good drive here happen, because so far when I've jumped in, it's been pretty atrocious. So let's see if we can make something happen here. Not what I expected. I mean, what's my O-line doing, bro? Like, I have no time to throw the freaking football. Like, I had Nico for a nice little first down catch, and instead I'm getting sacked. All right, well, let's see if we can make something differently happen here. We got Tank Dell just wide open, bro. That's what we needed. Now, we are going to leave them a lot of time, but that was exactly what we needed, man. Holy moly. Can we not let them score before half? They don't. And let's go see if we can score again, because that was so quick. I don't even know what the Texans were doing or what the Chiefs were doing there, but they just left Tank Dell wide open, man. So if they want to leave Nico one-on-one as well, I'll just too easy. Get out of my face, Kansas City. This is how we play football here. This is how we play Madden. That's better. The last 2 times I jumped in, atrocious. Let's see if we can get a stop on defense. It's 17-21. And all right, it's 21-20. All right, we got to go score again. It's fine. That play seems to be working really well for us. I'm just going to come out here and make sure we beat the Chiefs. That's all there really is to it, because without me, we probably are going to lose this game. So let's just take the underneath and get a first down to start this drive with our boy Joe Mixon. 2nd and 1. All right. Let's go to the play that's been bringing us some success, man. Tank Dell, do you want to get open again? No, instead, a little bit of a tight window. A little bit, maybe could have waited a little bit longer on that route. But I will go ahead and run for this first down, hopefully with our boy Joe Mixon. We just need a yard for a first down. So if we can't get that, then we deserve to lose, I guess. Let's see if we can get this first down. And I'm going to barely get it. Holy moly. It's 1st and 10. We're getting a play off before half. Play action wheel. This play looks interesting. Who would the wheel be? Dalton Schultz? Dude, I doubt this gets open. But it might be there low key. Schultz, can you get this? Holy moly, what a play. Wow, what a freaking play. That was beautiful. He was wide open. Just absolutely burned the linebacker. And now we're going to the 4th quarter on the 3-yard line. So that was beautiful. We needed that. And now we just need to punch this in, and then our defense needs to play lights out in the 4th quarter. It's kind of nothing too much to ask for here. So if this takes us a couple plays to get in the end zone, that's fine. But nope, first play, touchdown with Mixon. And now we got a 28-20 lead. All right, so they are going to get stopped their first drive. And we're going to go up 35-20. And that is going to be all she wrote. 3 touchdowns when we jumped in. And we saved the day. And we're moving on to the AFC Championship. And now it is time for the AFC Championship. And funny enough, it is the Las Vegas Raiders who signed Brock Purdy after they drafted Cam Ward. So that's kind of funny. But let's see if we can come out here. And they're going to start off 7-0. Okay. And can we go score? No, it's 2. Oh, we get a safety, I guess. All right. Interception, and we'll take the lead 2-9. Very weird score so far. But can we go score on this drive? Yes, we do. 16-7. Can we go score on this drive? Yes, we do. It's 24-7 so far. Another interception. And that's going to be all she wrote. Just like that. Easy peasy in the AFC Championship. No sweat at all. We're moving on to the Super Bowl with the Houston Texans. I've noticed this team makes it to the Super Bowl a lot here in Madden, and of course it is the Green Bay Packers. So the Packers always end up here, but let's see if we can come out here and disappoint them like we usually do. So we start off with a loss, or a 4th down stop, it looks like, and we will not score off the turnover on downs, but they're going to go up 7-0. And we need to lock in. It's 33 seconds left. We're going to come out here and try to score the football. I think they start off with the ball, so we can go in and tie this game after a couple drives. That would be beautiful. So it's 14-0 right now. They got Nico and press right now. That looks, always like seeing that, of course. So I'm going to throw Nico on a go route. And let's see if we... he's not going to be one-on-one, though. So that was a tight throw. Probably should have never thrown that. But at least I didn't take a sack and have to use a timeout. All right. Well, that first play did not work out. So let's see if we can come out here and make this play work out. So Tank Dell or Nico. I'm going Tank Dell. Tank Dell, please catch this. And he does. And that's going to be beautiful. We needed that. So Tank Dell on a beautiful route. And now we just need to punch this in the end zone. We could tie this after the half too. I'm looking for Schultz in this corner out, but Nico in the middle doesn't look too bad either. So let's see what ends up opening up. Schultz is there for the touchdown, and that is going to be a much-needed touchdown before half. And hopefully don't, okay, and now we're going to come back in here and try to do this thing again. So let's see if we can go score again. Play action tight end corner. All right, well, this should be interesting. We're going to throw Nico. So there's only 2 routes to throw this to, or I dump it down. All right, of course, you got to try Nico Collins one-on-one, right? I mean, this is going to be overthrown, I think. But man, if he would have came down with that somehow, that would have been pretty wild. If that was just maybe thrown a little softer, I think Nico would have had a chance at it. But, all right. Dalton Schultz for the first down, or maybe mix underneath. We'll see what opens up. I'm going Nico again. We're going to try this. This is overthrown again. I mean, he kind of had a chance at it. It's 3rd and 10. So we need a first down in the worst way possible. So let's see if we can make sure we secure a first down here. Xavier Hutchinson or Schultz. I'm looking for one of you guys for the first down. Let's see. Hutchinson's there. Just kidding. If it was thrown a little bit tighter, we would have had a chance. But I don't know. I was trying to throw it like very quick. He would have been able to run past that linebacker. But obviously, as we all know, throwing just a little too quick. Okay, so we get a second chance at it. Defense gets a stop. Pretty bad second drive by me in this game, but we're gonna come out here and redeem ourselves here. I believe in that. Let's see if we can make something happen. Rondell Moore, yes, there we go. That's beautiful. We needed that in the worst way possible to tie this ball game, and that was easy peasy. All right, so now we're gonna have a tie game in the Super Bowl. What the hell did we miss the extra point? Are we serious right now? Come on now, what are we doing? All right, let's see. Oh, we got an interception, though. I didn't even need to jump in for this. Like, I could have probably trusted the AI to get me a touchdown here, or at least a field goal to take the lead. So, 2nd and 6. We'll just feed Mixon a little bit here. Do we want to run it? No, I actually like the idea of just running with Mixon again here. Well, they're going to stack the box a little. Actually, let's see if Tank Dell will get open in the corner. I feel like he might be there. Tank Dell, corner, shot, touchdown. Beautiful. All right. I don't know if they're going to go for 2 or not. They did. It's 21-14 now. I'm going to skip this one. And we're going to end the game there. 21-14. Just like that. We played quite a bit today, but I wanted to get the Texans in the Super Bowl, and we did. We beat the Chiefs, and we beat the Packers. And those were the best victories we possibly could have gotten to, obviously, go on this championship run. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Got D'Amico, Ryan, Caesar, Shroud, Nico, Tank Dell, all in the Super Bowl. Joe Mixon. I obviously can't name the entire team, but... beautiful stuff, man. Rondell Moore had a great touchdown there in this one. Beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see y'all in the next video. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.